All right, so this is Sports Today, and you know that you'd have to be here at this time on a Friday because we're bringing you the biggest news from all over the world. We'll begin from here in Ghana, where there's a lot of enthusiasm ahead of that big game between the local Black Stars and Libya in the final of the CHAN Tournament 2014 in Cape Town in South Africa. Please bring in your messages. Remember, you can paste a comment on my Facebook wall, Nathaniel Attoh, Citizen Attoh. And also, you can get through 1760 for 30 Ghana pesos, irrespective of the network you're on. Also, in boxing, Ghana could just win yet another world title. Ghana could win her 9th world title in boxing if Usmanu Adama is able to stop or to defeat Gennady Golovkin in the WBA and IBO middleweight title bout in Monaco in France. So that bout will be in Monte Carlo tomorrow. And so 2 major titles up for grabs for Ghana in football and in boxing. You send in your messages ahead of time as we also look forward to a big debut for Michael Essien as AC Milan go up against Torino in this weekend's round of matches. We'll also bring you the EPL feature for the weekend here on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV as Manchester United play away. Let's see how Manchester United try their best to revive the campaign this season. There's a lot from the world of sport as well right here on this show. The reason why you have to stay tuned. This is Sports Today, and it's only here on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV. My name is Nathaniel Attoh. I have able backing from the rest of the Joy Sports team with production. You stay right there. It's the newspapers in a bit. All right, so let's get into the action, and we immediately get into the camp of the local Black Stars who are looking ahead to this very, very big game. Before that, let's go to the newspapers. The Graphic Sports has a picture of the big savior himself. I'm talking about goalkeeper Stephen Adams, who made that magical save to ensure that the Black Stars got to the final of the CHAN tournament. Of course, he had to do all of that with a very, very bad injury as well. Michael Essien is set for his Milan debut. And of course, Usmanu Adama is looking forward to his WBA title. He could become Ghana's 9th world champion. We're bringing you a very big preview to that big bout, which will be staged in Monte Carlo in Monaco. And now we want to take a look at the garage of Wayne Rooney. Okay, so this is it. Now, there we are. An Aston Martin, he's got a Range Rover, and I can count 1, 2, and 3 of them. He has an Overfinch. And he's also got a Cadillac Escalade, an Audi R6, a Bentley GT Continental, and of course an Aston Martin Vanquish. There's 2 Mercedes-Benz cars as well. And oh my goodness, Wayne Rooney, you'd want to drive with him definitely. And he's described as the carful Wayne Rooney. Now, Wawrinka, Stanislas Wawrinka is featured here on the features page of the Graphic Sports newspaper. Get close to the defending Australian Open champion, Stanislas Wawrinka, and know who exactly he is. Of course, we want to get into the center spread and take a look at how it all happened for the local Black Stars and, of course, the Libyans. There we are, moments of joy, moments of glory. And, of course, the Libyans will also run to celebrate that victory, that penalty shootout victory over Zimbabwe, who were also looking real good to qualify for the final. And, of course, Europe is also captured in pictures there in the center spread. And, of course, the Super Eagles of Nigeria had to encounter that moment of heartache when they were denied a place in the final. Let's also get into the international news page, and there we are. Usmanu Adama just wants to prove himself. There we are. And he is going to challenge for the WBA title against Gennady Golovkin. I just have a strong feeling that something interesting is going to happen. So there was Manu Adama. And Stephen Keshi says that they were unlucky. So, definitely the hard work and luck surely plays a part. And, of course, this is what it's going to look like, the lineup for the local Black Stars. Sule Mohammed, Jordan Opoku, the skipper, Seydou Banse, Asiedu Atobra, Abeku Enusin, the big man in defense, Alfred Nelson, of course, Tijani and Theophilus Anoba and Michael Akufo as well. These are the lads. Goalkeeper Stephen Adams surely is the safe pair of hands, and he's proven that with all the hard work during the semi-final. Let's also go to the front page, and Kotoko to outclassed first class. And Black Stars are targeting Chan Glory. All right, so Kotoko and Sunderland will also continue in their relationship for mutual benefit. And there we are, the center spread, which brings you excerpts of that visit. So a historic visit indeed. Let's go to the back page where it's also targeting or is also focusing on the Chan final that will be played tomorrow. Remember, time is 6 p.m. And there it is. And that has a picture of Enoch Wallace of Asempa 104.3 FM. And Coach Maxwell Kunedu says that Ghana went into the tournament as underdogs. Well, Essien is the Superman, and that is according to Mario Balotelli. So there we are. Michael Essien looking forward to a great start at AC Milan there on the back page. This is after dinner with his teammates. And, of course, this is at the garage of Sule Ali Montari. You know, Sule Ali Montari owns a garage where he customizes vehicles in Milan. It's called 4FK Motorsport. And that's Essien and Ricardo Kaká. There we are. Of course, Cesc Fabregas is featured here in the center spread of the 90 Minutes newspaper. The Spain and Barcelona player. Featured many seasons for Arsenal before moving over to Barcelona. All right, so let's now get into the details of the stories we've got for you. Remember, you can paste your comments on my Facebook wall, and also you can just get on 1760. That's the short code for getting through to us here as we get interactive on the show. It's big titles, one in boxing and one in football. Let's begin with football, where the local Black Stars are really looking ahead to making a major impact by winning the ultimate title at the Chan tournament in South Africa. The final will be played in Cape Town, and we got our cameras into camp again to get some interviews ahead of this game.
Very good side. We know them, we have played them. We need to work very hard and stay focused on that game so that we can get the victory also. I feel very, very happy for being part of the team to qualify to this stage.
This has been your dream from day one when we got here. I even personally told you that we're going to the finals and we're going to win. What would you say about the support that you've received here in Bloemfontein and all that has been?
We have received a fantabulous support from this state. This state. We are very happy for their support today. You can see they come in numbers to support us. And by God's grace, we did not let them down. We give them the victory. So we are very happy for their support.
I feel great as a player, and as a Ghanaian player as well. You know, going to this game, it was a very, very difficult game. And we also were one man down. the Nigerians are not bad side at all. But with the composure that we kept and the tactical discipline we managed to beat the victory. We were saying I was a central defender, but when the going was getting tough, I need to sacrifice to the number 2 position. As a player, you need to psych yourself up. You need to be ready for every battle. When I was asked to go to my regular position, I said no, something must happen in my life. And I'm not surprised I came out the man of the match.
We thank Almighty God. Coming into this game, people were saying Nigeria is a tough side and we can't go around them. But we thank God. In everything, when you put your trust in God, surely God is going to reward you. I've been saying this for a while. But it seems some of Ghanaians are not getting me. You see, as a footballer, you need to have confidence. When I picked the ball, I knew I'm going to take Ghana to the final.
All right, so there we are. Attoh, the man who struck the last penalty to make it a win for the Black Stars into that final. Very, very important. Okay. Let's also talk to assistant coach Dauda Lutrot. We've not heard much from him during this period. Let's take a listen to Dauda Lutrot. Remember, he was saying his Islamic prayers during the penalty shootout. He had his eyes closed and he was really focusing. Let's take a listen to him.
That we couldn't predict the score, but we know we'll beat Nigeria. We are impregnable. When you prepare your team very well, you will not be panicking at anything. You understand me? We prepared our team. We know what will happen. Just, of course, we didn't anticipate any red card. But once we have prepared the team, they are fit, they are strong mentally and physically. We didn't have any much problem. This is what we set out to do, and we've done it. We give thanks to God. It's no shaking. Where we've reached, we are moving higher and higher and higher, and we don't think Libya will stand in our way in any way. So it's victory all the way.
What would you say about Stephen Adams' performance today?
Marvelous.
Is the word, and of course, goalkeeper Stephen Adams will also get the plaudits for that wonderful performance during the semi-final. Now, let's also take a listen to the Youth and Sports Minister Elvis Afriye Ankra, who spoke to Joy Sports after the semi-final and is looking ahead to this big final with a lot of hope and with a lot of trust that the Black Stars will deliver the trophy.
It was a big challenge. We had many chances. They also had many chances. We couldn't score. They couldn't score. At a point, we were playing 10 against 11. But eventually, we managed to go to the penalties. And I want to thank the players for their commitment, and especially the goalkeeper. You could see that he was injured, but in spite of that, he was determined and he even saved the penalty. I want to thank the technical team for preparing them, because that penalties has always been one of our Achilles heels. But you could tell that this team is a team that has prepared properly for penalties. So preparation determines output. I keep on saying that. When you prepare properly, the output will show. And we're grateful to God for giving us this victory. I was more nervous when we were not making good use of our chances. I had an inner assurance that we will win. However, when the chances came and we were not making good use, I was nervous. I was throwing my legs, and people around me, I was kicking them all over the place. But at the end of the day, we've won. They should keep praying for us. At the end of the day, like today's game, the Nigerians played. We also played. They had many chances. They could have scored with any of those chances. We also had many chances. So what made the difference? It is God. God makes the difference. So the same God who has brought us this far, let's all pray and trust him, and he will see us through and will bring the cup home.
So you heard from Youth and Sports Minister Elvis Afriye Ankra, who made it to be a part of that very big story. Let's also take a listen to the chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Sports. Before that, let's also take a listen to the man Stephen Keshi, who won the Africa Cup of Nations with the main Super Eagles team. He had a few words.
That we lost by penalties. We played against a very good side too. That's it.
Coach, as I said, you played very well. What do you think was the factor? What do you think went wrong for your team?
I don't think anything particularly went wrong, because even the last second of the game, we had the ball almost in the net, but somehow we couldn't score. So the boys, they gave everything that we wanted, just that we cannot put the ball behind the net.
You won last year's AFCON, and now you are the current coach on the continent. And I'm sure you were hoping to add this title to it. You couldn't. Are you disappointed?
No, not disappointed. Not at all. I'm happy that my boys, they get experience from this high level of football in Africa, which is good.
What's going to be the motivation?
Miss Bolao, but the guys that played, they played good too.
So finally, what's going to be the motivation going into your third place game against Zimbabwe?
Well, I think they know themselves that they need to go home with something, and they are not happy that they lost, because they want to be in the final. They want to win the cup, but sometimes it's not what you wish for yourself that you get. So we'll see what happens on Saturday.
All right, so you heard the man, Stephen Keshi. He says that he's not disappointed. He's glad he took this step, and he is looking forward to what's going to happen on Saturday. Okay, so let's also take a listen to the chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Sports on the final.
Chairman of the Youth and Sports Committee of Parliament, Kobina Mensah Woyome, says he was not surprised about the feat chalked by the Stars.
I know that they will prove the odds wrong, that they will surmount all the challenges. They will surmount all the challenges and be able to get a cup home. They have room to better their game, and given that they can probably outclass others. So we just have to continue to just encourage them, support them, and give them all the support that they will need as individuals and as a team, so that they continue to excel. That is key.
He also believes Ghana has the upper hand in Saturday's final.
We're going to beat them, and if you look at our games so far, even when we played against them, and you will notice that we weren't bad at all. We did so well. We were able to hold them to it, and maybe a little bit of some strategy. You understand? Not too physical. Are you getting it? We should be able to take the day. So I see it as a walkover. A goal against them, 1-0. Sure, that's it.
The Stars Libya finals is a repetition of the 1982 finals of the African Cup of Nations played in Libya, which Ghana won on a 7-6 penalty shootout.
So you heard from the chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Sports, Honorable Kobina Mensah Woyome. He's talking about this. Let's take a few messages that you've sent in. I'm glad that Nigeria is beaten. I'm happy for Essien as well. Since we Nigerians have missed out on the final, I wish Ghana the best over Libya. And this is from Okechukwu Kenneth Aja. Thank you very much. The first one was from Prince Charles Adigli. Now, Henry Agbo says, nice to see him in action, and he's pasted a picture of Michael Essien there on the page. Let's now go over to South Africa, where our tournament correspondent Benedict Owusu is on the phone line to bring us the latest from the camp. Benedict, thank you for joining us. Now, we've got 24 hours to go for that big final. Tell me what the atmosphere is like in camp.
Well, Nathaniel, as you rightly said, we've got barely 24 hours to that big game at the Cape Town Stadium. But for some of us, the journalists, we are not yet in Cape Town yet. So if you're asking about the atmosphere in Cape Town, I wouldn't be in a position to tell you what exactly is happening. We're still in Bloemfontein trying to find our way to Cape Town. But the team left Bloemfontein yesterday. That was in the morning. They arrived here in South Africa time. I think it was around 12 o'clock when they arrived in Cape Town. They had their first training session, and I understand that this afternoon they will be training as well. Normally on match days, they normally do their training early so the players can rest as the officials ahead of the big game. So that's precisely what's going to happen there. That's information I'm gathering in Cape Town. But we are yet to fly from Bloemfontein to Cape Town. So hopefully by God willing, tomorrow morning we will also be there. And at least we can tell viewers and listeners what exactly is going on in Cape Town as to the finals.
All right. Now, tell me as well about the massive support that the local Black Stars have been receiving in South Africa so far. I mean, what's been accounting for this?
Talking about support, then it's all based on the team's stay here in Bloemfontein. I remember very well when we came for this tournament, and we all got to know that the team was going to base here in Bloemfontein. A lot more people, especially the fans that came from Ghana, didn't even know how their way to this place. Some thought maybe Bloemfontein wasn't far from Johannesburg, and it was just going to be a drive, like an hour or 30 minutes drive. But for coming here by land, it will take you like 5 hours, and by air, it's less than 1 hour. But when we got here, for the local Black Stars, they managed to stay 2 hours. They were the only team that didn't travel outside. I mean, the local Black Stars were the only team that stayed at one particular place for the tournament. Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Libya, all of them traveled around South Africa. But Ghana played our first game here in Bloemfontein, second game Bloemfontein, third game Bloemfontein. And by virtue of stopping the group, then we had to continue staying here in Bloemfontein and also play the semi-final. So the people here in Bloemfontein got to know that there was some Ghana team here. So almost every match day, the Bloemfontein Celtic fans came to the stadium to cheer the local Black Stars. So it was the Mishiga guys, the Die Hard, and the Insu guys, and the Ghanaians here in Bloemfontein, and the Bloemfontein Celtic fans who were always at the stadium supporting the local Black Stars, and it was massive. From day one to the semi-final game, the support that the team received was massive, and all was based on the team's stay here. It wasn't about anything. It wasn't about maybe the good football we're playing, the players that we had, or anything about the team. But just by virtue of the team's continuous stay here, the locals here got to know that there was a team here called Ghana. So, they were so fun. Even training, they were being resisted from coming to training grounds, but still they were trying. You see them always coming there with Ghana flags. Anytime they see you, Ghana. Now they even call Ghana Bagana because they think the local Black Stars have done very well, and all of them are supporting them. And even this morning, on our way to the airport, we met some Celtic fans and some South Africans who, were saying that if they had their own way, they would have followed the team to Cape Town to support them. But I'm also gathering that the support in Cape Town will also be massive because, the team, when we came here, the South Africans were based in Cape Town and they received massive support, but, unfortunately, they couldn't make it even through to the knockout phase. So the local Black Stars, after what the Black Stars Popper did here in 2010, the name Ghana is something always on the lips of the South Africans. As soon as you mention that you are from Ghana, they have this attitude, good attitude, positive attitude towards you. So I'm gathering that even in Cape Town, the support that we saw here in Bloemfontein will be even not the same, will be even much, much more better than what we had here in Bloemfontein.
All right. Now, we all realized that during the semi-final, many of our players had muscle pulls and they were having issues with their fitness. They were having issues with stamina as well. I remember very well that goalkeeper Stephen Adams had to play the better part of extra time and the penalty shootout with an injury. What is the latest on the situation, the health situation of the players ahead of this final?
What I'm gathering from Cape Town is that our players are fit. All the players are now fit for the game. Even you made mention of Stephen Adams' case. Stephen Adams, throughout the tournament, he's not been that fit. He's been playing through some pains, but I think it was aggravated on the day we played against Nigeria. But Stephen Adams is fit and he will be in post-squad game tomorrow. For Godfrey Saka, he changed the team and was set to make the starting lineup for our last game. But I just don't know what happened in last. That coach Maxwell maybe decided to drop him. Rather play Abiy Kwenison and Joshua Tijani. Abiy Kwenison picked up an injury in our last game. He's also fit. Yaya Mohammed is also fit. All the guys that played our first game. And even Sule Mohammed, who came on, you realize Sule played since we came here. The only game that he played was the first game against DR Congo, which he picked up an injury. The second he didn't play. The third game, same as the quarterfinal game against DR Congo. Now he's fully fit. So God willing, tomorrow we expect to see Sule Mohammed start in attack. So I will not be surprised if Sidi Bantu drops to the bench for Sule to partner Yaya Mohammed in tomorrow's final. Godfrey Saka, all the players, Jordan Opoku and Michael Ekutu, who also picked up enough, are all fit.
All right. All right, Benedict. So thank you very much. We'll be coming back to you, tomorrow during the show, Sports Review for more. Thank you very much for your time. Benedict Owusu is the tournament correspondent for Joy Sports for the Chan tournament in South Africa. Many messages are coming in. I'll be sharing some of them with you as we go ahead in the show. Remember, you can place your comments on my Facebook wall. It's Nathaniel Attoh, Citizen Attoh. And alternatively, if you're on your mobile phone, you can just go... you can just use 1760, the code 1760. Let me just bring you some more of the comments that have hit my Facebook wall. Senna Havo says, I wish Ghana good luck, and Essien must do his best at Milan. Austin Ammonia says, Ghana is winning the cup for sure. Henry Agbo says Henry Agbo says that, please, we want Champions League matches on Joy Sports. And, okay, thank you very much for that message. We'll do our best to see if we can get the rights for that. Now, Nana Yauda Costa says, I miss Michael Essien, but, he will be missed in Chelsea. Ghana 2, Libya 0 for the final. Okay, keep your predictions coming in. And, of course, what kind of performance are you expecting from the local Black Stars as they get into this very, very big battle against Libya? Remember, the last time the two sides met on a big stage like this was in the 1982 final where Ghana won on penalties. And that was the last time Ghana won any major silverware, when it comes to international football on the continent. All right, now there's another message here on Facebook, and it is from Aka Kwame Nikene, or Naikene. I beg your pardon if I didn't pronounce the name well. He says, nice to see the magic boy again. I'm talking about Michael Essien. And he says that Nat Ghana will beat Libya whether they like it or not. Thank you very much. He says, Nat, today I like your swag. Okay, thank you very much, Akakwame. And we'll be doing some more messages on Facebook and through our text code 1760. But there are more stories. Now, Ben Kofi, the legendary coach and CAF instructor, has been talking about the Chan tournament and the fact that the Black Stars, some local Black Stars players have the opportunity to make it into the main Black Stars team for the FIFA World Cup in Brazil. Now, well, so he rather says that, the players cannot, be playing in the main Black Stars team for the World Cup. He says that despite the fact that they've qualified for the final, it does not mean that they can play in the main Black Stars team for the World Cup. And he says that he is not impressed with the performance of the team. Let's go ahead and talk about Coach Kwesi Appiah, main Black Stars coach Kwesi Appiah, who is backing his assistant, who is the head coach of the Chan team, to win this very big trophy. So Kwesi Appiah, remember, starts with a very big responsibility of, first of all, going out of a very tough group, which has Germany, the USA, and Portugal, and then also emerging to the final stages of the Mundial in Brazil. We also Let's talk some more about Michael Essien. And Michael Essien is expected to feature for AC Milan tomorrow as he marks his debut in a game against Torino at the San Siro. So Michael Essien ready for his big debut against Torino. All right, so let's talk a bit about the local league now. And the chairman of the Ghana League Clubs Association, Alhaji Ali Raji, he's been talking about the, how the league should be run and how his association wants more control of running the league on a day-to-day basis. According to him, this is something that is ongoing, a discussion that is ongoing, and obviously this is something that will be realized, getting to the end of the year. Let's take a listen to Alhaji Raji.
Maybe it will hearten you to understand that we have appointed Global Media Alliance since last year as our consultants and seeking sponsorship for us. And I believe they are doing very well. We had some challenges last year pertaining to the President Cup, of which RRG had wanted to come on board. But you know what is happening to the relationship between RRG and the government as at last year. And definitely they had to pull out. And very sure the government came in to the tune of about 400,000 Ghana cedi. Well, they have not paid us as at now. But we were able to hold forth for the President Cup to come on. Global Media Alliance again this year, we started talking to them. And I'm very sure, as you just stated, we will be planning to have about, not necessarily 5 years, because you can't have a 5 year. Your term of office will last in about 2 or 3 years. So you really need to work according to the timing that we've been given. So I'm very sure this year we'll come out with something better than what we've been doing last year.
Now, is your association or your body ready to run the Ghana Premier League?
Well, you look at the human resources in managing the Ghana Premier League. They are all our members. They are all the PLB guys working there are all GACA members. If you look at the only problem we might experience is perhaps the structures that we need for now. But I don't think for now we are not ready for it. For now, no.
For now, you're not ready for it. Okay, so when are we expecting all of this to fall in shape? All of the advocacy for change and everything. When do we expect all of it to fall in place?
I have already told you that this is a process which started about 10 years ago.
Okay.
Along the line, it went dead, and it was resuscitated about a year or two ago, and we are moving towards it. I'm very sure by the end of 2014, something we need not go into.
Is the end of 2014 not too long or not too
It is not
far
long.
away?
12 months to prepare for such a big challenge.
No, but it's been going on for 10 years. You said.
Well, maybe I'm just making sure that we give ourselves enough notice to take up from that for that angle. But it's an ongoing process, and I'm very sure we don't need to go into any confrontation with anybody in taking over the Premier League. No, I don't believe so. The GFA is aware of the process. They are part of the process, and we will work according to the process that we are continuing to make sure that when we take over, we will not regret taking it over.
So where does GALCA project itself within the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, I will not go to the extent of saying less 3, 4, 5 years. Maybe next 2 years. Long-term plan, yes, but you must be very realistic with whatever planning that you are doing. You are supposed to administer a club for the next 3, 4 years. You can't plan beyond that. You can't go into somebody's time. So what we are saying that for the next 2, 3 years, we've spent about 1.5 years now as leaders of GALCA, and we have another 2.5 years to spend. And I've told you that for the next, we have a lot of things to do. One, our finances must change. The position must change. We are not strong financially, and we are not strong just because, in the first place, we met an empty coffers, and we'll be able to, make sure that our last 3 years audited account is now ready for us, and from there we'll push on. We have contracted Global Media Alliance to do a projection for us for the next 2-3 years, and I'm very sure by the fall of the end of January we'll have the chance to bring it to this studio for you to see.
All right, so Alhaji Ali Raji there, and he's been talking about, the Ghana Premier League and whether or not his body is ready. He says that they are not immediately ready, but there's a lot of talk ongoing so that everything comes to, a good conclusion by the end of this year. Johado Larry Joachim says Essien will do well at Milan, but will be missed at Chelsea. Ghana to Libya 0. And also... we'll be doing some more messages as we go ahead. Let's do a round of commercials and we continue with the show. Remember that we'll be taking a look at the man Kasparov. If I mention the name Kasparov, does anything strike? Well, yes, the most celebrated player in chess in the world is in Ghana. We'll be bringing you an excerpt of some interviews with him. You stay right here. This is Sports Today. There's a message from Dennis Ice Cube Ufori Asari that says, the local Black Stars have done beyond my expectations. Anyway, is Fatah Dada still our number one goalkeeper? Tria. Stephen Adams for Brazil alongside Kwarase. Well, that's a message from Dennis Ice Cube Ufori Asari. Let's now focus on the local league some more, where First Capital Plus, Ghanaian bank, have decided to sponsor as headline sponsor of the Ghana Premier League with $10 million for the next 5 years. First Capital Plus extended this gesture in the face of difficult times for the Ghana Premier League. Of course, the 2013-2014 season started without a sponsor, and the clubs have been suffering for a while now. And this comes as a very big piece of relief, or a big sigh of relief for the clubs. And we go to Midiama SC, whose coach Roberto Paulet says that his team building efforts are in progress ahead of this weekend's MTN FA Cup, as well as CAF Confederation Cup matches that will be played. Remember that Midiama SC will be playing against Panthers FC, and the Peruvian has been trimming some rough edges for the team ahead of Sunday's assignment against Ghanaian second-tier side, at the Takwa and Aboso Park. And some more sponsorship deals, and insurance company Star Assurance will sponsor the Black Stars for $600,000, and this will be for a 3-year period. Star Assurance extends this gesture as the Black Stars prepare for Brazil 2014, a third straight World Cup appearance, and this will mean that the Black Stars will access $200,000 every year from Star Assurance. Let's talk about Super Eagles captain Joseph Yobo, who has sealed a loan move to return to the English Premiership with Norwich City. This is news coming from his Turkish club, Fenerbahce. Now, Adel Tarat, he is ready to sign for AC Milan. Now, the former Fulham player also underwent a medical at AC Milan and is ready to join the club, just like Michael Essien has done. And all of these are part of team building efforts being put in by new coach Clarence Seedorf. And now Arsenal are trailing Salomon Kalou, the Ivorian international. The player who now plays for Lille is being tracked by Arsenal. The Daily Star says that the Gunners are weighing up to £2.5 million for Salomon Kalou. Now, a midfielder, Mali midfielder, Seydou Keita has joined Valencia until the end of the season. The Spanish club revealed this yesterday. Now, the 34-year-old former Barcelona player arrives at the club on a free transfer from Chinese side Dylan Erbin. Remember that's where Ghana defender Lee Addy also played his football. Valencia said they said on their website that Keita's deal will run until 30th June with an option for another season. Keita won 14 trophies in 4 seasons with Barcelona between 2008 and 2012 and has also been capped 88 times by his country, Mali, scoring 24 goals. Cameroonian youngsters Maki Frank Bagnac and Jean-Marie Dungu have renewed their contracts with Barcelona until 2017 with buyout clauses now at €12 million each. So all of this forms part of Barcelona's policy of keeping, a lot of the youthful talents there, and that's exactly what has been done to these two Cameroonian young lads. Let's now focus on the English Premier League, and we take a look at the fixtures to expect for this weekend. Newcastle host Sunderland, Swansea go away to West Ham United, Cardiff play Norwich City, Everton play Aston Villa, Fulham play Southampton, Hull City they play Tottenham Hotspur, and Stoke City play Manchester United. West Bromwich Albion play Liverpool, and Crystal Palace go away to Arsenal, and Manchester City they play Chelsea. Barcelona, they host Valencia, and of course that team is now going to feature Seydou Keita, and Seydou Keita, his current team will play his former team. Levante play Rayo Vallecano, Real Valladolid go to Getafe, Malaga play Sevilla, Almeria play Elche, and Real Betis play Espanyol. Atletico Madrid host Real Sociedad, and of course Athletic Bilbao play Real Madrid, and of course Villarreal play Osasuna. Let's take a look at the Serie A, and Emmanuel Agyemang-Bedu's Udinese, they go away to Bologna. Cagliari play Fiorentina, and Torino play AC Milan. That's a game where you expect Michael Essien to make his debut. Genoa play Sampdoria. AS Roma play Parma. Atalanta play Napoli. Livorno go away to Catania. Chievo Verona host Lazio, and Hellas Verona play Sassuolo, while Juventus play Inter Milan. That surely is a big headliner. The Borussia Dortmund go out to play Braunschweig, Eintracht Braunschweig, and Bayer Leverkusen play Stuttgart. Werder Bremen play Augsburg. Mainz play Freiburg. Wolfsburg play Schalke 04. TSG Hoffenheim host Hamburg. And Borussia Mönchengladbach, they play Hannover 96. Hertha Berlin play Nuremberg. And Bayern Munich, they play Frankfurt. All right, so let's also take a look at the French League. Paris Saint-Germain play Bordeaux, and Monaco play Lorient, while Bastia play Guingamp. Ajaccio play Evian Tonon Galard. Sochaux, they welcome Nantes to their home ground. Saint-Etienne play Valenciennes. Montpellier play Stade de Reims, and of course Nice play Lille, while Lyon play Stade Rennes. Marseille will be hosting Toulouse. That's it by way of international transfer news. Let's do boxing now, because Ghana can become a country with a world champion tomorrow, within the next 24 hours, if Usman Wadama is able to surmount that big challenge that will be posed to him by reigning WBA and IBO middleweight champion Gennady Golovkin. That bout to be staged in Monte Carlo in Monaco and France. And of course, both boxers have been talking ahead of this bout. Let's take a look at this preview.
I'm preparing for this fight, and this is what I've been training for. I can say I'm the trainer I was born for. I started boxing when I was young, so I'm ready to fight anybody in the world, and this is the time to fight Golovkin.
If you can judge his previous opponents, the guys who was he fighting, if you can rank yourself among the guys he fought up to now, would you say you are better, you are a different style? Please rank the fighters and tell me why it'll be different with you.
It's going to be a lot different because most of the fighters he fight, they are not speed like the way I speed. I know he fought.
So it's about speed versus Golovkin.
It's about the speed and power. So the speed and power, he feels power. I also feel like I'm a strong boxer. I'm a power boxer too. I'm a very strong fighter. If I with good fighters, I also feel like I fight with the good fighters.
Watching Golovkin, what do you see? What you can use to your advantage?
I used to watch his fight when his fight, anybody's fight. I used to watch it, but I don't watch his previous fight to say I'm learning something. I can learn something from him. I have to learn something from mindset. I'm learning to get better. I'm not learning for something from nobody.
This is a very important fight, not only for you, but to the whole country. I know you're going to go with Ike Cortez. This is a special moment for you guys, for a country of Ghana. This is a special promotion. If you can tell something about the pride of the African fighters.
All Africans are willing for me to, win this fight, and inshallah, I'm going to win this fight. This fight is mine, and especially I thank God that all my supporters coming, a lot of supporters coming from Ghana to Monte Carlo, especially Ike Cortez. It's going to be privileged. It's going to be so nice to have my world champion from Africa to, beside me to come to the fight.
Is Gennady Golovkin the best middleweight fighter in the world?
Oh, I can't say he's the best fighter. Where everybody tries to be best for himself. If we try to fight, there's the best boxers. If you want to be a best, you have to fight the best. He's the best in middleweight. He's the best. He's best up and coming middleweight. I also feel like I'm the best. Everybody feel like he's the best in boxing.
If the critics are gonna say, okay, Osumanu got a couple of losses on his card. He lost a couple of fights. Gennady is undefeated. Let's say, what was your best fight up to now?
My best fight up to now when I fought Donovan George. When I first time came to America when I first fought Donovan George for the super middleweight, that was my toughest fight, I feel like I've done. I haven't fought Golovkin yet, so my previous is when I fought Donovan George was my, toughest fight.
And he chants those words like nobody's business. Osmanu Adama, also known as Ozzy Adams, and he surely will be delivering the goods by Ghanaian expectation. Of course, Gennady Golovkin has also been looking forward to this bout.
You are very, very privileged Saturday night. I can tell you that you are watching arguably the most exciting fighter on the planet today.
2013 for us, for the GGG team, was a very good year. We had 4 fights, 4 big knockouts.
The Monte Carlo Super $4 million. Here we are once again. It's a sold-out show. It's being shown live to over 200 countries.
I think that the world has taken notice of who this young man is, and that's what we're aiming for. The difference between 2013 March last year when we fought Ishida here is that we've had several training camps since then, and the progress has been dramatic in his improvement. So he's a much better fighter today. I think what makes him better is that we've been able to work on particular things that we needed to improve on. Patience, distance, not looking for one shot. There's a lot of things that develop in time when you're sparring, when you're training, and when you're trying to work on specific things in the gym.
So I must tell you a little bit more about Osumano Adama. As he said, it's a fantastic opportunity for him to challenge boxing's best. He said he began training a long time ago back in Chicago. After 12 years as a professional, Osumano Adama's Monte Carlo debut represents the biggest fight of his career.
Thank you, everybody, for coming here and thank all the promotion and thank everybody in Monaco. I'm very confident. Anytime I step in the ring, if I'm not confident, I will never step in the ring. This is my job, and I'm come to take it.
We just give a lot of credit to Adama for accepting the challenge. We went through a lot of names, and there was never a question when I spoke to Cynthia as far as them accepting the fight. So we really have a lot of respect for them, and we're looking forward to a great fight on Saturday night.
Thank you very much. Good evening for everybody. Good to see you, my friends. Now, first, thank you very much for promotions. Thank you very much for Monte Carlo, for Monaco. Thank you very much for sponsors. It's a great idea for everybody, for sport, for box, for fans. Second, I know my opponent. It's a very difficult fight for us, just because we have a lot of time for great show, for great fight. I respect my opponent. Thank you very much for team. Thank you for everybody. I'm happy to be here.
The WBA IBO middleweight world title, 12 rounds.
All right, so many promotional events happening ahead of the Super Bowl. Now let's take a listen to Gary Kasparov, who is the greatest chess player of all time. He visited Ghana to promote the sport here.
Chess. I believe the game is great and the game has a huge potential. But we have to move from this traditional chess structure when you have few people on the very top of this vertical, telling others around the globe how to work, how to promote chess, and actually it proved to be totally inadequate. To the new world, it's a world of the social network. The chess is absolutely unique because while it was not as competitive on the big screen on television, where we had other attractive sports, and it's okay. Here, naturally, football is number one as everywhere else in the world, maybe except the United States. So, and there are other sports like basketball or tennis. They are much more visible. But when we move to the small screen, to the era of modern global communication, chess has a tremendous advantage. You cannot play football on telephone. You cannot even learn how to play football on telephone. But you can follow chess games. You can learn about chess. You can look at the great players. You can hear the commentaries. We can do a lot of things. So the game of chess could, in my view, could have the three pillars that will bring us to the bright future. One is as I mentioned, it's a social network that offers, in my view, absolutely unlimited opportunities for the game to be promoted. It's connected to the new technologies, and of course, the numbers comes from education. So education was always a biggest priority in my agenda. As George mentioned, I started Kasparov Chess Foundation in New York, moved to Brussels, 19 months ago opened one in Johannesburg, recently one in Singapore for Asia Pacific, and one more to be opened in Mexico City for Latin America. And I think that by moving
So you saw Gary Kasparov there. Let's now take a look at what's been happening in marathon racing. And Bank of Africa has extended a big hand of support to some marathoners. Let's take a look.
If Bank of Ghana Bamako International Marathon 2013, ladies and gentlemen, the 6th Bank of Africa Bamako International Marathon is to take place in the Malian capital, Bamako, on Sunday, February 2nd, 2014. Bank of Africa is sponsoring a team of 4 made up of 2 athletes, a coach, and a journalist to this event. Ghana is being represented by Godwin, Roger, who came first and second respectively in the Justifiers, which were held on Sunday, 19 January 2014. Roger actually made Ghana proud last year when he came second in the Mali Marathon, behind Kenya's Mutiri Karanga. Ghana other runners. Akakia and William placed 8th and 27th respectively. Godwin, who is again representing Ghana, came 3rd in the Mali Marathon 2 years ago. It therefore appears that Bank of Africa Ghana is sponsoring 2 athletes who already know the Bamako terrain very well and can make us proud with a first place win. This year's Mali Marathon classifiers were supervised jointly by the Ghana Athletic Association as well as the Renaton Foundation, which is an NGO, non-profit sport development organization established by Ricade, a former elite long-distance runner in Ghana. The bank sponsorship this year covers flight tickets, accommodation, meals, as well as per diem for the 2 athletes, a coach.
Bank of Africa extending that hand of support to the Ghanaian marathoners who are going to the Mali International Marathon. Now it's time for the moment of the day, and it's a Sergio Aguero goal. In the English Premier League against Tottenham Hotspurs. You'd see it in a bit. But let me say thank you to all of you. Let's say a prayer for Ousmane Adama and the local Black Stars as they go into big battle this weekend. Remember to follow George Attoh Jr. later on today as they do more analysis on the football show. Also, you can get tuned tomorrow when Tony Beverly brings you that that show, Sports Review, as we review all the major events of the week. And of course, later in the afternoon, it will be Kwame Jumajiman bringing you that game between Manchester United and Stoke. Thank you very much for staying here with us on the show. Thanks to the whole production team here at Joy Sports. I'll be back on Monday. My name is Nathaniel Attoh, and I have love for sport.
David Silva then played in a superb ball for Sergio Aguero, and the Argentine made no mistake as he scored his 50th goal in his 81st game in English football.